Have you ever wondered if some people just have it all figured out? Seriously, did Ansel Elgort just find the secret formula for universal stardom that the rest of Hollywood is dying to get their hands on? It's a wild thought, right? But when you look at his career, it starts to make a whole lot of sense. Most actors pick a lane. They are either the teen heartthrob, the serious Oscar contender, or the indie darling, but Ansel, he's playing a completely different game, and he's winning on every level. You've got Gen Z scrolling through TikTok today, making these stylized, aesthetic edits of his interviews, treating him like the ultimate vibe check champion. Meanwhile, your mom is probably talking about how he's the golden boy of the silver screen because of his performance in West Side Story. It's such a rare crossover. Usually, if the kids love you, the older crowd thinks you're just a passing fad. But if the parents love you, the kids think you're totally mid. Yet, Ansel has captured both ends of the spectrum without breaking a sweat. So, what is it exactly? Why is everyone talking about him again? Is it the undeniable talent, the classic movie star looks, or that mysterious cool guy aura he carries everywhere? There's this specific it factor about him that's incredibly hard to define. He's got this effortless confidence that feels both like a throwback to classic Hollywood and something totally modern. It's like he walked straight out of a 1950s studio but kept a smartphone in his pocket. He's approachable but also feels like he's living in a different reality. Let's take a little trip down memory lane. Remember 2014? It was the year of flower crowns and enough tears to fill an entire ocean. That was the year Ansel Elgort truly exploded with The Fault in Our Stars. He played Augustus Waters, and let's be real, he became the blueprint for the perfect boyfriend for an entire generation. Everyone was crying in the theaters. I mean, literally everyone. That was the official start of Elgort fever. You couldn't walk into a mall without seeing his face on a poster or hearing someone quote his lines about infinity. But here's where things get tricky. For most stars, a hit like that is a double-edged sword. It's so easy to get stuck in the pretty boy trap. You know the one, where the industry only sees you as a romantic lead for teenagers, and suddenly you're 30 years old and still playing a high school senior. But Ansel, he saw that trap coming and leaped right over it. He navigated that transition from a YA idol to a serious dramatic actor with precision. He wanted to be on the Academy's radar. And it's not just the acting. This man is a total enigma. He's a Renaissance man in every sense. One day he's on a movie set with a legendary director, and the next he's behind a DJ booth under the name Solo, dropping beats at a music festival. Then you see him posting artistic photography or singing his heart out. It's this eclectic mix of hobbies that keeps him so relevant. He isn't just a face, he's a multi-dimensional creator. Maybe that's the real secret. There's always something new to discover about him. Before we continue, subscribe to the channel and tell us in the comments where you are watching from. Seriously, I want to know. And while you're at it, let's settle something. When was the first time you actually fell for Ansel? Was it the moment he shared that unlit cigarette as Augustus Waters? Or was it when he was shifting gears to a killer soundtrack in Baby Driver? Everyone has their specific Ansel moment, and I'm curious which one was yours. We are just getting started with this deep dive. There is so much more to uncover about the secret sauce that makes him a favorite across every age group. We are going to explore how he transitioned into high-octane action and eventually earned the respect of the greatest directors in history. Stay tuned, because we're about to dive deep into his most iconic roles and the evolution of a modern legend. The story of how he became the bridge between old Hollywood glamour and new age viral stardom is just beginning. Augustus Waters wasn't just a character. He was a cultural reset for the romantic genre. Think about it for a second. He had that signature crooked smile, the metaphorical cigarette, and the kind of dialogue that felt like it was written in the stars. For millennials and the early Gen Z crowd, Ansel didn't just play a role. He defined an entire era of book boyfriend energy that hadn't been seen since the peak Twilight days. But while many actors would have happily ridden that wave of teenage adoration until the wheels fell off, Ansel had much bigger plans. He knew he had to pivot. Enter Baby Driver. This was the moment everything changed for his image. Suddenly, he wasn't just the boy next door. He was a high-octane, music-obsessed getaway driver with some of the best stunts in modern cinema. Working with the visionary Edgar Wright allowed Ansel to showcase a completely different kind of physicality and charm. He wasn't just delivering lines, he was moving to a beat, blending his personal love for music with a cool guy persona that won over the cool crowd and action movie buffs alike. This wasn't just a career move, it was a total rebranding. He proved that he could carry a massive blockbuster without relying on his heartthrob status. It was the ultimate mic drop moment, and if you thought he was only for the kids, then came the Steven Spielberg era. Getting the stamp of approval from a legend like Spielberg is basically like being knighted in the middle of Hollywood. Playing Tony in West Side Story was a massive professional risk. But Ansel absolutely nailed that classic leading man energy. This role was the bridge that brought him into the living rooms of the older classic cinema-loving generation. Suddenly, grandmothers and film critics who had never heard of Augustus Waters were talking about his singing voice and magnetic presence. He wasn't just a teen idol anymore. He was a legitimate talent who could stand tall in the legacy of Hollywood's golden age. But what really sets Ansel apart is that he doesn't just clock out when the cameras stop. Have you heard of Anselo? While other stars do boring sponsored posts, Ansel is behind a DJ booth at festivals, dropping house tracks. This career as a DJ and singer adds a sharp edge to his persona. It keeps him relevant in the nightlife culture in a way that feels totally authentic. He isn't just an actor who tries to sing. He is a musician who actually lives that life. It's that dual identity that makes him so fascinating. He can be a 1950s romantic lead one day and a modern EDM powerhouse the next. This versatility extends to his style choices. Have you seen him on the red carpet? He's a total chameleon. One night he's wearing a glittery experimental suit, and the next he's in a classic tuxedo that would make any movie icon jealous. He bridges the gap between the avant-garde and the traditional effortlessly. And then there is his social media charisma. Most celebrities have curated feeds. Ansel, he posts like a real person, whether it's his chaotic Instagram stories or his unfiltered TikToks. There's an authenticity there that makes him feel like someone you could actually hang out with. He isn't afraid to be weird, and in a world of polished influencers, that is refreshing. It makes people feel like they are seeing the actual human being, not a product. Is there anything this man can't do? He sings, he dances, he acts, and he DJs. He has successfully avoided every trap the industry has set for him, but here is the thing. It isn't just about the talent or the resume. There is something about his actual personality that has sparked intense debates online. Is he truly the perfect modern star? Or is there a layer to the story that we haven't quite reached yet? Something tells me there is much more to the Ansel effect than meets the eye. We really need to look closer at the truth. When you start scrolling through the depths of Twitter, you quickly realize that the discourse surrounding Ansel Elgort is unlike anything else in Hollywood right now. It is honestly fascinating. On one hand, you have the husband material memes that have been a staple of his fandom since 2014. These fans are cataloging every single charming smirk and stylish outfit. But then, on the other side of the internet, you have the intense film buffs having these deep dive debates about his technical range and his growth under legendary directors. It is this perfectly balanced split. Have you noticed how he manages to hit two completely different frequencies simultaneously? It's like he's living in two worlds at once. To the Gen Z crowd, Ansel is essentially the ultimate aesthetic king. They look at his film photography, his fashion choices, and his attitude on TikTok, and they think, yeah, this guy totally gets our vibe. He's got that effortless cool guy aura that feels very 2024. But then, if you sit down and talk to your parents or even your grandparents, they see something different. To them, he's the polite, classically handsome, and immensely talented young man who reminded them of the golden age of movies in West Side Story. It is a rare crossover that very few actors in his age bracket can pull off. Most young stars are pushed into a specific lane by their agents, and they stay there forever. But Ansel, he is out here driving in 3 different lanes at once. Let's be real for a minute. Look at how many actors from that mid-2010s young adult explosion have completely vanished. Most of them faded away the very second the movie franchises ended or the hype died down. But Ansel has managed to stay firmly in the spotlight for over a decade now. Why is that? I think it's because he understands the long game better than most. He didn't settle for being a one-hit wonder. He leaned into the mystery of his own persona. He handles his fame in a way that feels intentional. He doesn't overshare every single detail of his life on a platter for the tabloids. You don't see him at every single party. And yet, when he does show up on a red carpet, it feels like a massive event. So what does the road ahead look like for our favorite Renaissance man? Some people are convinced he's preparing for a gritty, transformative role that will finally land him an Oscar. Others think he's going to focus on his music career and tour the world as Ansel. Honestly, with a guy like this, you never know for sure, and that is why we love following him. People are already drawing big comparisons between his trajectory and the legends like Leonardo DiCaprio or Brad Pitt. The transition from a teenage heartthrob to a respected, high-prestige leading man is a very narrow path. But Ansel is walking it with total confidence. Is he the next generation's definitive leading man? It certainly feels like he's building a legacy that is going to last. Ultimately, the Ansel effect is real and powerful. He is the bridge between the old world glamour of classic Hollywood and the high-speed, chaotic energy of modern viral stardom. He's the guy who can sing a Sondheim classic and then immediately go drop a heavy house set. Whether you first loved him for his heartbreaking role as Augustus or you're here for his serious actor era, there's no denying that he is a generational talent. He's navigated the industry traps, ignored the labels people tried to put on him, and carved out a career that is uniquely his very own. I want to hear from you. What do you think is Ansel's best role? Is it Augustus, Baby, or Tony? Do you believe he is the most versatile actor of his generation? Drop a comment down below because we need to settle this once and for all. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed this deep dive. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you